Good afternoon, Washington Commanders Nation. A lot of tornado warnings going on across the East Coast, so hopefully power and everything stays steady through this stream. It is Mock Draft Monday, and I want to talk about the wide receiver position extensively. What it do, Washington Commanders Nation? It is Monday, March 16th. We're 38 days away from the 2026 NFL Draft. And as we currently sit here, Washington's biggest need on the roster is as glaring as can be. And I think everything the team has done in free agency is setting the stage for what could be coming on night one of the 2026 NFL Draft. But before we get to that, Washington brought back Jeremy McNichols today. So welcome J-Mac back to the Washington Commanders, a locker room guy that they love, more than dependable when called upon. Had his best season combined rushing and receiving last year. And before we move to the wide receiver room, I want to make some examples because there are people outside of the fan base who see the signings of Rachaad White, Jerome Ford, and bringing back of Jeremy McNichols to go with Bill Krosky-Merritt, who is working right now this offseason, who's already busting his ass. You love to see it. Please safeguard that pill, my boy. There are people outside the organization that are like, wow, this running back room does not move the needle. This running back room is putrid. 4 backs means you don't have 1 back, yada, yada, yada. I hear you guys loud and clear, and my answer to such complaints is that we are one of the best rushing attacks in the league, no matter what combination of guys you put in the backfield. If Bill ran for 800 yards and 8 touchdowns in a season where he was phased out the offense for almost 2 months, he's 1,000-yard back in this offense if he's given the right amount of carries. Rachaad White, if given enough carries, he's an 800 to 1,000-yard back. Jerome Ford and McNichols, you put them in a pot, you mix it up, they are more than capable RB3 options. When your rushing attack is headed by a quarterback rushing for 600 to 700 yards a season, you are always one of the better rushing attacks in the league. While a Jeremiah Love type running back could explode and have us leave Earth as a rushing attack, Washington doesn't necessarily need that type of back to be effective. Last year, the season went to hell in a handbasket, and these boys still were a top 5 rushing offense to end the year. And for a majority of the year, that was a top 3 rushing attack. So when you're underwhelmed by what we have in the backfield, I think the backfield got better. And it gets better because Jaden's going to play. We anticipate Jaden's going to play the entire 2026 season. And even only playing 7 games last year, Jaden ran for over 200 yards. And Marcus Mariota ran for about 300 yards. So even between our 2 quarterbacks, 600 rushing yards in a down year. Bill gave you 800. Rodriguez gave you 500. And McNichols gave you, I think, a little bit under 300 yards. There's 2,100 to 24 rushing yards on this team, no matter how you stack the backfield and without adding anything more to it. So before we get to the wide receivers, I wanted to make that point crystal clear for everyone in the back that is complaining about what Washington has in the backfield as we currently speak. And we move over to the wide receiver position. What I'm seeing a lot of in the comments, and I'm seeing a lot of this in the comments, and I'm seeing a lot of this on Twitter as we speak. And the this I'm referring to is people dismissing the notion that Washington could go receiver in the first round of the draft. And I'm trying to understand why people are doing so, because we've made it we've put a very clear indicator out there that we're very in the market for a wide receiver in the 2026 draft. Very, very, very much so. We have made one impact signing on the offensive side of the ball. I'm glad to have the O lineman back that we re-signed. I'm glad to have a speed vertical threat in Diami. I'm glad to have potential depth if called upon for a guy like Van Jefferson. But let's call a spade for a second. Let's call a spade exactly what it is. Washington shot their shot at two of the big dollar receiving options that were available during the 2025 free agency period. Washington offered a generational bag, and there are rumors out there that Washington offered more than the Colts gave Alec Pierce. He ended up getting like $29 million a year. So theoretically, Washington offered a Terry McLaurin-like contract to the white boy with the most motion, Alec Pierce from the Indianapolis Colts. Romeo Doubs ended up getting 4 years, $80 million. Counted up, that's $20 million per year for what would have been our wide receiver too. He's now the number one option on the New England Patriots, and everyone says Washington was in until the final moments for Romeo Doubs, someone who got $20 million a year. So they offered Terry money to one guy, and they offered what people thought Debo was going to get on the open market to 26-year-old Romeo Doubs, the Guardian Cap King of Green Bay. What about those two things and what we ended up signing, Diami and Van Jefferson? What about that makes people think Washington shouldn't highly consider wide receiver at the 7th slot in the draft? Because Mekhi Lemon is the Biletnikoff winner. Jordan Tyson is an absolute superstar where injury concern is the only thing that brings down his stock. And Carnell Tate is a very, very highly sought after wide receiver who could very well go before pick 7 in this upcoming NFL draft. 3 very good options in the top 10 of the 2026 NFL draft. What would stop Washington from going a wide receiver when they shot the meanest shot at Alec Pierce and Romeo Doubs in free agency? Diami's here on a 1-year up to $3 million deal. His roster spot is not a guarantee. Van Jefferson signed for probably even less than Diami. His roster spot is not a guarantee. We all are waiting on the other shoe to fall in San Francisco and for them to eventually and inevitably cut their losses with Brandon Ayuk. But your number one threat was banged up for the first time in his career last year, going into his age 31 season, and 28-year-old Brandon Ayuk on a prove-it deal is coming off a very serious injury, hasn't touched the football field since 2024. This is now your biggest hole on your roster. Some would say center. I would vehemently disagree. While I do want to know what the plan is as far as depth at center, it feels like Allegretti or Coleman are going to get a crack at this thing. And I'm not mad at it because the continuity of a unit that was very good last year. Our O-line was very good. If Chris Paul stays at left guard, Coleman or Allegretti at center, or if Coleman takes over the left guard spot, Allegretti and a rookie, maybe they add a veteran at some point. The interior offensive line market has been pretty stagnant so far, so they could still end up getting some depth there. Wide receiver is the clearest question mark on the team. And what I don't want is for us to get stuck in a cycle like the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson, and most glaringly, like the Buffalo Bills do with Josh Allen. Josh Allen be throwing to a bunch of garbage, a bunch of fucking garbage out there at wide receiver. It's malpractice. Like he be having a room full of wide receiver threes out there playing catch with him, and he still puts up MVP numbers with them, while Josh Allen can be a turnover machine, and he's had control over whether they lost in the playoffs these last couple years. It would help if they got him some real fucking receivers, and I see why they started to this year by going to trade for DJ Moore. I imagine they still draft one early in the 2026 draft. I don't want that life for Jaden Daniels. I don't ever want to see my quarterback on primetime television, Monday Night Football on ESPN, having to throw deep balls to Chris Moore, to Robbie Anderson, to River Craycraft. And yes, there are better depth options on this team right now, and I'm glad we took care of that. Diami, depth guy, deep ball guy, screen pass guy, nothing that you want to up the volume for. Not a dependable starter. Van Jefferson in spot duty, we know what he can do. I know there are fans that are trying to convince themselves that Diami and Van Jefferson solidify the Washington receiving core. And then you got guys like Nick Nash who are going to be August summertime preseason legends for this football team. And you know how fans cling on to those summertime heroes. Ja'Cory Brooks' name, another August hero when we get to the preseason. But the top of that room is just Terry by himself waiting for company at the playground as we currently speak. So wide receiver is something that not only should we be thinking about at 7, there's a world where we should probably be prioritizing that shit. We should probably be prioritizing wide receiver at 7, and there are worlds out there where Washington bypasses one of these crazy defensive talents that we've been talking about for months because we just lack at the wide receiver room. And remember Adam Peters and Dan Quinn at that presser when they were saying everything we do will be with Jaden Daniels in mind going forward. And I'm going to take them at their word because Jaden controls everything about our success over what we hope is a decade plus going forward. We hope this is a long, fruitful, prosperous marriage with Jaden Daniels here in DC. And for that to happen, we got to protect him. I think we took care of the offensive line. While we can add a center, I think the line is Gucci. I think the line is good. We already got designer brand up front. 2 tackles, a great right guard, a good left guard competition between Chris Paul and Brandon Coleman. Allegretti will be fine, but we're going to see. We're going to see about that. Let me get to these super chats so we can get into mock draft Monday. We can start doing mocks. I want to prioritize the wide receiver position. So either at 7 or at 71, we're talking wide receivers. And I want to stretch the wide receiver conversation out to more than the top 3 as well. 1991 RX7. 1991 is a great year, by the way. That is my birth year, and that is the year of one of the greatest football teams ever, the 1991 Washington Redskins. What's going on? Thank you for locking in with the channel and the Rambler family for the last 8 months. Terry, Ayuk, and Lemon in the slot would be nasty. So I don't know if y'all saw the Jordan Tyson video I had with my bro Jalen Morgan yesterday, Bleeding B&G, Stunner Showtime. Great video, 45 minutes. We dive into Jordan Tyson. We're going to be doing videos, features like that, probably with a guest from Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate, Caleb Down, Sonny Style. All of the usual suspects for the 7th pick in the draft will be getting their own featured video on the channel over these next 38 days. Thank you for rocking with me. I agree. I think Makai Lemon is your easiest plug and play receiver of these 3 guys. Does he have the highest ceiling? I don't know. But I think plug and play immediately as a rookie, he could come into somebody's offense and give them 75 to 80 catches, 700 to 900 yards, 5+ touchdowns, and get right to business in the NFL. Devontae Taylor, appreciate you for the $4.99 super chat donation. What up, what up, what up? Love this time of year and during the season, of course, getting notifications of you going live. Stay safe out there as well. Hey, everybody on the East Coast, please stay safe. Every tornado warning I see, it comes with more terrifying language. The wind is howling out here right now. The wind is howling in Northern Virginia like the Wizard of Oz right now. Everybody stay indoors. Only go out if you need to, and hopefully this shit passes and nothing crazy happens. Thank you for rocking with the channel. You're going to be seeing me live on a pretty regular basis as we push through this off season, especially going into the draft. My guy, Full Command Show. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you for locking in. Make sure y'all follow and sub up my guy. He's giving great content not only on social media, but on YouTube as well. We just did a collab recently. Rio preaching this good noon. Hoping for receiver at hey. While there are options with the 7th pick of the draft, I want a receiver, man. We haven't went receiver in what, 4 years? The Jahan Dotson draft was 2022, right? Yeah, the Sam Howell year where we traded back. Me and Jalen fell to our knees when Garrett Wilson went a pick before the Commanders. We wanted Chris Olave. They traded back. They gave us Jahan Dotson. You saw me ranting on stream about we just traded back and took wide receiver 10 when we could have had Chris Olave. That rant ended up being vindicated. I think I might have been a little bit correct. But Big Willie, what's going on, man? We were ranked 32nd on defense last year. I think we should go with David Bailey if Tennessee takes Love, or Mansour Delane if Love and Bailey are gone. We were ranked 32nd in defense, and that's why we signed Odafe Owe, Kaylavon Chason, Tim Settle, Charles Omenihu, Nick Cross, Leo Chanel. We've signed like 6 starters on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm not saying that the build is over because we signed all these players. But what I am saying is we've put ourselves in a position where going into this offseason, it was probably a must that we go defense in the first round. Now we can do whatever we like. And no, we never want to see a 32nd ranked defense ever again here in DC. And that's why we've viciously and aggressively attacked the defense so far this offseason. We're not done yet. And if Bailey falls, I could definitely see him being the pick. I like Ruben Bain. I think I'm good on Ruben Bain at 7. I can see Dan Quinn being all over Ruben Bain at 7, like Vontae Mack, no matter what. But personally, I think we've afforded ourselves the option to do whatever we'd like to. And I think wide receiver is currently the biggest need on the team. I think our need at wide receiver is bigger than any need we have on the defensive side. And I think we'll still add another edge at some point during the draft because Odafe Owe is the only edge with any future here in DC as we currently speak, because nobody else is under contract past this year. But we shall see, man. We shall see. No biracial receivers tated in. That's a crazy super chat, bro. What's wrong with biracial receivers, bro? What did biracial receivers do to you, man? That man said, I don't want no light-skinned Bamas at wide receiver here, bro. I can at least understand like a no TCU receivers or something like that. No biracial receiver. Who stung you? Who lost your fantasy football league for you, my guy? What light-skinned receiver got you seeing war flashbacks when we're up at 7? Because I want to know. Appreciate you, J Mill 843. Miggy 240. Thank you for rocking with the guy. I think our future star receiver should be drafted in 2027. 2027, we already know all the mythical folklore urban legend tales that they're telling us about the 2027 NFL draft. While there's a surplus of talent at that position and other positions, including possibly the best wide receiver prospect we've ever seen in Jeremiah Smith, 2027 is a long way out. I'm not pushing nothing towards 2027. It's a year-to-year league. I watched a Patriots team go from 4 wins to the Super Bowl last year. I can't think about 2027 yet until we conclude 2026. And with the moves that we've done in free agency, if we have ourselves a good draft, Washington can be right back in the mix in the division and in the entire conference of the NFC. I appreciate the thought of the 2027 NFL draft. I don't want to think about that shit right now. I don't want to think about it, man. Tyson's injury history is too much. Well, the knee injury happened 4 years ago. So a full college career ago, a full presidential term was the serious injury. Broke his clavicle in 2024 during his best season. Bones healed, not tripping off of that. Had a hamstring injury this year. Now, if that hamstring injury is still lingering and he's not able to participate at his pro day in a couple weeks, then that could be a problem. But missing 3 games for a hamstring, he hasn't missed significant football or had a serious injury since 2022. So I'm not tripping on that as much. That was 4 years ago. That was a long time. The collarbone, bones break, that's some fluky shit. I'm not tripping off of that. Let's find out about the hamstring. If it's some lingering Marshawn Lattimore type shit, then it's something we need to worry about. But the knee, that shit happened so long ago. I'm not even tripping. But let's see how the mock draft board is treating us, and let's do some Washington Commanders mock drafts. Let's get it in. 1 second. Let's go. Let's get active out here. So this mock draft has Bain going at 2. The draft is so unpredictable. I can't say that's something that wouldn't happen because some teams are very high on Ruben Bain. Some teams are terrified because he has the shortest arms ever for a highly touted edge rusher. Bain at 2. Downs at 3. I've noticed a trend. Over the last week or so, Caleb Downs has not made it to 7 in a lot of the mock draft simulations I've been doing. Caleb Downs has not been making it to pick 7 in a whole bunch of these joints. So Caleb Downs goes off the early. Some people think Caleb Downs is the best football player in the class. I can't say it's not realistic. Him to the Cardinals, they just lost Jalen Thompson. They pair Budda Baker with Caleb Downs. I get it. David Bailey, edge to the Texans. I get it. Jeremiah Love. So they got them a Thunder and Lightning and one of the funniest brain functional running back rooms in the NFL. Jeremiah Love and Cam Scatterboo to go with Jackson Dart. I think it makes sense. I could also see it. I don't think Jeremiah Love's getting to 7. I'm no longer even considering Jeremiah Love at 7 because I don't think he gets there. Let's see who goes at 6 and what's left on the board. Okay, so Carnell Tate goes at 6. And Washington is on the board with a spoil of riches. Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles are both on the board. Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson on the board. I don't think Washington could turn down one of these linebackers. But for the sake of today's argument, for the sake of today's wide receiver need, I don't know, man. I don't think why. Okay, so in this scenario, wide receiver got to come at 71 because I don't think so. Styles or Reese is the thing because Reese may have the bigger ceiling. Styles is probably more ready to go. But Arvell Reese is a guy heavily predicted to go in the top 6. I think Arvell Reese would be the perfect. I think Arvell Reese would be the perfect pick for Durante Jones defense. I think Arvell Reese would be perfect, man. Mansour Delane is definitely a conversation we have to start having at some point. Nigga only gave up 14 catches all of last season. But it's got to be one of the Buckeyes, though. Oh, damn, I'm tripping. I didn't even select the team. Yeah, I didn't even select the team, so we starting over anyway. I didn't even select the Washington Commanders. I'm bugging. Always put it on the PFF board because to me, PFF has the best board on here. So let's start this over. Let's see what they give us this time. Let's see what they give us this time. Okay. Not trading back. I'm sorry. We're taking a player at 7. So this time, Bailey went 2, Bain went 3, Downs, Maui Noah, Arvell Reese, and they got Love on the board, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, Lemon, Mansour Delane, Jordan Tyson. So Sonny Styles once again is on the board. It feels like it's Styles. It feels like it's Styles. I feel like the best player on the board is Sonny Styles. And if we're sticking to best play, because I would love to have Jeremiah Love, bro, but I don't think Jeremiah Love finna be there at all, bro. And, you know, we got 4 backs. Ain't none of them Jeremiah Love. Do we ignore that Love's here? Or do we say fuck it and take Love? I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see. This would be such a good situation to be in. And it's a good possibility that this is the situation we're in when it comes to draft, because I'm not with all that trade back shit. But for like the next 3 picks, I would be totally cool moving back to like 10 because somebody's going to be on that board that we love. I'm going to take Sonny Styles for us here. Sonny Styles and Leo Chenal, probably the most athletic linebacker in the room. I'm going wide receiver with the next pick no matter what, though. A receiver is finna be drafted in our first 3. And there's a guy who I want to be there that fans are going to say, no, we can't draft him. We took Jalen Lane last year. And his name is Zachariah Branch from Georgia. Zachariah Branch is one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I do not care that, damn, did I only put it on a 1-round mock? Oh, I'm bugging today. I am not on my shit today. Zachariah Branch is somebody, the Commanders, if they get there at 71, I don't give a shit if he has size similar to Jalen Lane. Zachariah Branch gives Santana Moss vibes, bro. Zachariah Branch is going to be a day one immediate impact contributor, and he can return shit. He's like if Jalen Lane was built more robust and was actually a wide receiver. Jalen Lane, I almost don't even want to count him as part of the wide receiver room. You're a returner. You're a specialist, bro. Count him as a running back. Count him as some type of specialist, bro. I don't even want to count him as one of the wide receivers. I would not be afraid to pick an undersized receiver just because we took Jalen Lane last year. I want playmakers, and Zachariah Branch in the slot with Ayuk and Terry on the outside, that sounds like demon timing for me. That's me personally, though. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to take an undersized receiver because we took a punt returner on day 3 last year. I need me a receiver. Elijah Surratt, I would be down with that too. That's Timu Mike Evans right there. Possession receiver extraordinaire and goal line demon. But let's see what we do. We finally going to do us a full draft this time. Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles, ladies and gentlemen. The best player in the draft, the highest upside defender in the draft. Styles or Downs, y'all. Styles or Downs. Yep, Kevin Coleman. I feel like people have completely forgot about him. So we were running with Styles on the last joint. I think we're going to run with Styles again for this one. But Downs, man, woo. Downs is the 2026 prototype player. Downs probably going to be an all-pro in the next 2 years, but we never got to finish our Sonny Styles draft. We're going to put Styles right there at 7. Going wide receiver, no matter what, at 71, I don't care who's on the board. It's going to be a receiver because that room scares the shit out of me. We're going with a wide receiver. So, not going to hold you. We're going back up here. And let's see what's available. There goes Zachariah Branch. There goes my demon right there. Chris Brazel's all right. Hey, Chris Brazel got a couple DUIs or some shit. Adam Peters and company might not feel that. Deion Burks is fast as hell. He could be a slot demon. Deshaun Stribling has size and speed. The Missouri wide receiver is cool. You know what? We're building ourselves a track team full of four. We're building ourselves a track team. Zachariah Branch, you're the pick at 71. So far we've taken Sonny Styles and Zachariah Branch. This is a track team right now. We're building a team that's going to outrun everybody that shows up on the schedule. We are back up on the board right now. We have a center from Duke on the board. Washington needs some depth at center. We got Edge out of Boston College, even though he's like Ramella height, has that extremely undersized body. Jalen Kilgore out of South Carolina, another high relative athletic score guy right there. Since we're building ourselves a track team, come on down, Jalen Kilgore. We're building ourselves a track team of demons. We weren't able to get downs in day one. You know what? We got our downs. We got our poor man's downs, but he can play corner and safety. Harold Perkins is still on the board. I would love a corner or a center here, but we shall see. Ephesians Prysock. That is such a name. I like the Washington corners. I really like that corner out of Chris Johnson. He's probably going in the second round and not someone. I like Damani Jackson out of Alabama. Let me see. Let's add a center here. We're about to start it over. We're taking receiver at 7 in the next jump, by the way. We're taking wide receiver at 7 in the next one, by the way. Just letting y'all know that right now. Bunch of relative athletic score demons. You know how that draft looks every year when we get to it, when we start to summarize it. It looks like a whole bunch of speed and athleticism. I need to get some of those dudes on the field in 2020. Zane Durant, another D tackle that can fly. We getting all dudes who can fly right now, man. A bunch of dudes that can fly. This draft ended up being Sonny Styles, Zachariah Branch, Jalen Kilgore, Pat Coogan, Damani Jackson, Zane Durant. Bunch of dudes who can fly and who have good tape. All right, we're going wide receiver this time. I don't care who's there. We're going wide receiver because wide receiver is Washington's biggest need. And there's a world where it's best player available at a position of need. And we've hit all of the positions with a pretty good player except wide receiver this offseason. And it's time that we add us a talent at the position. We going wide receiver here at 7. We going wide receiver here at 7. I will bypass whoever at this point. So who is it going to be? I see you on the board, Reese. I see you on the board, Styles. I see you, Mansour Delane. Makai Lemon, Jordan Tyson, or Carnell Tate. Or did Carnell Tate already go? Let me look at the board. Let me look at who went off the board. Nope, Carnell Tate went off the board at number 5 to the New York Giants. Makai Lemon or Jordan Tyson, chat. Makai Lemon or Jordan Tyson. We're going receiver. And I like, these are my wide receiver 1 and my wide receiver 2 of the class. So, Lemon, plug and play slot demon from day one. Jordan Tyson is going to be your successor. Wide receiver 1 has inside, outside versatility. Oh my God, the weather's starting to look crazy. I looked out my deck door real quick. It's starting to look a little nuts, bro. Precipitation and wind looking crazy out there. It's starting to look like when you put the overcast up on Madden outside. Holy shit. Starting to look crazy. Who we want, chat? We want Makai Lemon or Jordan Tyson, man. We want a first-round kicker. We got to pull out the Sebastian Janikowski days. Now, could you imagine that pick taking place during the social media era? Could you imagine someone taking a kicker in the first round when Twitter exists, when YouTube exists? That shit would be crazy. That shit would be crazy. I'm not trading out of this pick. I'm picking one of these receivers, and I think one of the receivers are worthy of this 7th pick. Sorry. And I think the one most worthy of the 7th pick, hey, I like Lemon. I like Jordan Tyson. I'm looking past the injury history because I think that's a superstar number one, and he moves like something I don't think we've had here. So that's where we going with this one. We could do a different receiver during the next one. I'm not trading back. We're just sticking and picking. We took a wide receiver in the first round. Y'all want your center or do y'all want your safety here? Kamari Ramsey, Sam Heck. Y'all want one of the best and most fluid moving edge rushers, denied Dennis Sutton from Penn State. We have some options here. Dalen Everett, the cornerback out of Georgia. We got two centers on the board, Slaughter and Heck. Jacob Rodriguez is probably going in the second round of this draft. I don't believe he's going to be there at 71 at all. I think there's a world where Jacob Rodriguez, since he's such a fucking turnover forcer, he goes in the first round of the draft. So, well, y'all like a center or a safety here, man? Center or a safety? Y'all don't trust Big Ogre Allegretti? Y'all don't trust Big Ogre Allegretti at center? Who do y'all trust more, Nick Allegretti or Jartavis Martin? Let me see. Show of hands. Who in the chat? Who do you trust more, Jartavis Quan Martin or Nicholas Allegretti? Three-time Super Bowl champion Nicholas Allegretti. Which one is it? Y'all spamming center. So y'all trust, what y'all saying is y'all trust Quan Martin more than you trust Nick Allegretti. Because y'all telling me that it got to be Sam Heck means y'all are cool with seeing Quan Martin back on that football field. Because that's what you're telling me. Need a center in training, safety in the fifth. I like Kamari Ramsey, man. I know you got to pick one. You got to pick one. I don't think Jacob Rodriguez is going to be there. That's why I'm not picking him here. Jacob Rodriguez might go in the first round. But Jacob Rodriguez has an argument to make that he was the best football player in the country this year, other than like Jeremiah Smith. And yeah, than that, because I think he was a better football player than the Heisman candidates. Well, Jeremiah Smith and Jeremiah Love were the only people that played better than him this year. Okay, we'll get the center. We'll get the center. I hear y'all. We'll get the center here. So we've taken Jordan Tyson. We went offense so far. Let's see what's available to us at 71. Oh, that safety from Texas is on the board. I love it. Michael Taft, man. Michael Taft, that looks attractive. Julian Neal, the corner out of Arkansas. I like it. Size and speed, athletic profile. He killed it at the combine, has good tape. I like Julian Neal, man. I'm not going to hold you. I like Julian Neal and taking my chances on what's left at safety later. I like Harold Perkins too, but I like the safety out of Texas. He's a dog. The safety out of Texas is a dog, but I like the corner, bro. Is Julian Neal a fit for this scheme? Because I know he fits the Dan Quinn profile. Does he fit in Durante Jones' defense? You know what? I think the corner is the better value here. I'm going to take the Arkansas corner. Oh, Harold Perkins still on the board next round on some best player available shit. That looks good. I like it. And we haven't taken a backer yet. We didn't take Jacob Rodriguez as he was on the board. Harold Perkins is another one of those Durante Jones specials. Could come down on the edge, could play off ball backer. I like it. Now we got to see what's out. I would love a safety here, but I'm not forcing anything. At this point of the draft, it's just we're going to see. Let me see what even is out there at safety. Hey, we could take a flyer on Lorenzo Styles since we're building a track team. 9.96. Styles can be a corner. Styles could be a safety. He's just a fast-ass rover type character. and we're drafting him for the athletic profile. We didn't get your brother. We're taking something from the gene pool home with us. You know what I mean? And with the last pick in the draft, all right, so we've went wide receiver, we've went center, corner, linebacker, and safety. It's whatever at this point. It's whatever at this point. We could bring whatever we like. The TCU linebacker is an athlete. We could throw a day three linebacker. A day three tight end out there if we want to. I'm not about to sit here and take too long on a 7th round pick, but should we bring in a? Oh, stop the presses real quick. Did y'all see some shit about Washington being interested in Ty Simpson? What the fuck? What are they talking about? I seen something that said that Washington has some interest in Ty Simpson on the timeline today. Did y'all see that shit? I can't have Quantavious Martin be the plan in 2026. I agree. Quan Martin, Jartavis, Quantavious. He cannot be what we rely on to be an answer, a solution in the big 2-6. Definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. What the fuck interest would we have in Ty Simpson? I don't know. I seen someone put that on the timeline earlier, and I was like, this is fucking nonsense. I want to say it was like Trevor Sikkema or Todd McShay. I'm not trying to put it's someone, a draft analyst with a T to start his name. I don't remember which one it was, so I ain't trying to put that type of smut on his name. But somebody said that shit. Oh, was it Fowler? Was it Fowler? Somebody said that dumb shit on the timeline. I scrolled past that shit so swiftly. I scrolled past that shit. Ty Simpson, someone is going to be dumb enough and talk themselves into taking Ty Simpson in the first round. Ty Simpson is at latest going in the second round of the draft. Why would Washington have anything to do with what happens with Ty Simpson? Maybe we put new Sam Hartman on the roster. Maybe we draft this athletic freak out of Arkansas with the last pick. The nigga that had like the greatest combine ever. Come be a camp body. Have fun in training camp. Maybe he works into another position, or maybe he takes Sam Hartman's job of first team handshake, because Josh Johnson got him another gig somehow at age 40. He won't be back in 2027 or 2026. So quarterback 3 at some point, if we ever want to have that discussion, will probably be like a priority free agent or something, or at the end of the draft. But you can't find a player at the end of the draft. So let's do another one. Let's do another one. Fuck you, Philadelphia. Even though that's a lot of picks. That's a lot of picks. Carnell Tate once again to the Giants. Caleb Downs to the Browns. Downs to the Browns. Oh, I can see all the stupid pun shirts they would make out of that. Reese to the Titans. This feels realistic. Bain, Love, Reese, Tate, Downs. David Bailey is on the board right here. I think if David Bailey's there, you probably sprint the card in, because we have no expectation that he's available at that point. Meaning, wide receiver at Big 71, coming right up. Give me one. Who we like? Who we like? Oh, Skylar Bell, UConn. Skylar Bell's one of the most well-rounded receivers in the class. So, Bailey, Skylar Bell. This might be our best combo yet. But wide receiver is very important, bro. One of our first 2 picks got to be a receiver, man. Let's see what we got now. Julian Neal, once again. Let's take a different player this time. Aiden Fisher, linebacker out of Indiana. Got him another little demon white boy backer on the board from Indiana. Jalen Kilgore's out there. I wonder where Trey Lance's brother is going to go in the draft. Who we like here? Who we like here in the 5th round, y'all? We already went edge, so no need to go Caden Curry. Who do we like at this spot? Who do we like at this ball? I like the Washington corner. I like the Washington corner. Takario Davis has length. I don't know if length is needed in this system, but I'm not mad at having a little bit of everything. Variety is the spice of life. I wouldn't be mad at it. Moses, Hurst, Tyson. The NFL scouts prefer Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman is not a real football player, man. Sam Hartman is not a real football player. Y'all like Washington Jr.? As fast as he is, he don't play as fast as that 40 look. He does not look nearly as fast on tape as he does. I would rather get an impact today guy than him, but if he's there another round later, I would take him. But for the sake of doing something new, y'all want Washington, you get Washington. We got us a speed demon to go with Bill and company. Not tripping over the McNichols and Ford signings. They're here for free, basically. So somebody going to ride that practice squad. You know? Here, I wouldn't mind adding to the tight end room and throwing my boy. You know what? Give me one of the Washington's corners since we didn't take the other one. We didn't take Takario Davis. Give me Ephesians Prysock, one of the coolest names, a mouthful, one of the coolest names you'll hear in the entire class. Could have waited around and got Damani Jackson, but it's all good. But, all right. So, now let's do another where it is wide receiver or bust at 7. So, we're going Tater Lemon here. We're going Tater Lemon here because I want to introduce all the possibilities for Washington because there is a world where we force select the receiver and bypass some talent here. And I want fans to be prepared because wide receiver is such a fucking hole on this roster. And we have to forecast the future. For this one is for my trade back crowd because I've seen people doing this in other channels. I've seen professionals do this. I saw one of them chat sports dudes last night take this trade where we got 46 and move back to 15. And the nigga took the Penn State guard, Ione. And that shit pissed me off. That shit pissed me off. Okay, so we now have a second round pick, ladies and gentlemen. We now have 46. So at 15, y'all feel more comfortable taking Jordan Tyson here at 15? Do y'all want Dylan Thieneman? Do y'all want Big Kel DeFalk? Cassius Howe? What y'all thinking? We not taking no fucking offensive lineman in the first round. That's why that shit almost made me throw up when I was watching this mock draft because I'm sitting here like, okay, he moved us back to 15. This is cool. What we finna do? I was hand rubbing like, oh shit, we got a second round pick. What we finna do? And that man said, Washington desperately needs interior O-line help. First of all, we need a center, but I think we're good at guard. I think we're great at tackle. Desperately needs interior help. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? But for everybody who has injury concerns about Jordan Tyson, him at 15, that shit's looking beautiful. But guess what? We have pick 46 now. So we don't have to force the receiver. We're going to take an exciting white and pair him up with Nick Cross, and they're going to be the most athletic safety duo we've seen here since Sean Taylor and LaRon Landry. This is a very interesting trade back. I think I've reached my limit for trade backs. What are we going to do now? Let me see. Talk to me, wide receiver. Talk to me. Talk to me. Jeremy Bernard. Elijah Surratt. Hey, Elijah Surratt, I'm with it. Colonial Forge legend or Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard has a little Chris Godwin to him. Which Tampa receiver we want? We want poor man's Mike Evans or we want Chris Godwin? because I think Elijah Surratt is going to be a touchdown goal line target. Back shoulder fade demon. Sideline possession, do it all receiver, flips coin. Jeremy Bernard, do we want an Alabama Crimson Tider or do we want one of the champions? I kind of want to pick Elijah Surratt just because he's from Stafford, Virginia. Shout out to my guy. But I think people are lower on Jeremy Bernard because Tyler Simpson fell off. Because if Ty Simpson was hooping, I think more people would like Bernard. Bernard has NFL projection. Jeremy Bernard looks like a much better NFL player than he a college player. Yeah. I don't see us trading back either. We're just, what I'm saying? We're broadening our horizons and preparing ourselves for a multitude of things. Let's go. I'm going with my gut. Elijah Surratt. I like it. Let's get it. Even though I think Jeremy Bernard could be a good big slot for us, and he could come in and play even with Ayuk and Terry on the field. Should we keep considering Ayuk a part of the roster, or should we wait and let it happen? Oh my God, now Jeremy Bernard fell. God damn it, Jeremy Bernard fell to the third round, and now I'm mad as shit because we could have went a different position there. But you know what? I ain't tripping. You know what? We've brought Romello Height in for a visit. That boy looked like Bam Adebayo in a football uniform. He lean as hell, but he has a full-ass pass rush bag. But it don't matter because Dalen Everett out of Georgia, 6'1", corner, is going to be my pick in round 3. So far we've went safety. Our secondary should be shored up. So for the questions we have on the defense, we got us another starting quality corner, and we got a demon at safety. So we could do whatever we like at this point. The D tackle out of Oregon's on the board. Keyshawn Elliott out of Arizona State is on the board. We already went receiver. Quintavious Hutchins. You know what? Add us a lean-ass edge. Put an NFL body on that boy. Make him an outside linebacker in our 3 under over front. And make him a versatile piece of the defense. We already went corner. We still need a center. Give me the center out of Iowa because I don't believe Iowa players bust in the NFL. Pause. Pause. This one is fire. Yeah, we're getting some heat on this one. The trade back, this shit fire. I don't know if a 46 does make sense to go back 8 spots, right? Because going from 7 to 15 is a pretty significant go back, even though I'm just taking a player at 7 in real life, bro. That trade back for like Keldrick Falk gonna piss me off if that happened in real life. But Dylan Thieneman, Elijah Surratt, Dalen Edward, Quintavious Hutchins, and Logan Jones at center. I really like what we're doing so far. I really like it. There's still a bunch of corners on the board. You could double dip at receiver if you wanted to, for real. You can give us Roman Hemby, bring him back to the DMV because we need a young running back to play a camp body position for us at some point and be the next practice squad Chris Rodriguez extraordinaire. And you could do whatever you want to with this last pick. And with it, I'll take a flyer on a Lewis Bond because that's an under 6 foot receiver that just plays tough ass football, catches everything, and he has that commander tag shit to him. So probably the best haul we've gotten so far because of the trade back. We took Dylan Thieneman. Dylan Thieneman looked like a Philadelphia Eagle to me, bro. He looks like the Reed Blankenship upgrade that falls to the Eagles and that pisses us all off during the draft. But with wide receiver being the focus, let's get us a wide receiver early in this one. I would like Carnell Tate to make it to our spot because I'm trying to try out everything. And I am good with Tate, Tyson, and Lemon. While I have my preference, I'm not these people like, no, I gotta have this guy. Don't want this guy. I'm cool with all of them, bro. We need a wide receiver of the future. Okay, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. Nope. We're gonna take one of these dudes here. So this time, Carnell Tate once again off the board. Oh, did Lemon go and Lemon off the board? Okay, so wide receiver at 7 is not happening. Caleb Downs me at this point. Caleb Downs me get the best overall player in the class. We're just trying different things. We're trying to see what fits, what works, what doesn't work. We went Downs at 7 here. We switch it up and we try something else. I'll move back 10 spots to get 124. We didn't take the early trade back. We took the trade back here. And I took Zachariah Branch and Skylar Bell earlier. I would probably take one of them here, but we're up again at 124. Jacob Rodriguez has no business being there. You go get crazy athletic on defense with Jacob Rodriguez, Caleb Downs as your first 2 picks. Next pick, wide receiver, no matter what. I like Eric Rivers out of Georgia Tech. He's been rising as of lately for everybody. The Ole Miss receiver, is he still on the board? Stribling? Nope, he's not on the board. Ted Hurst. Rico raves about this guy. Bring him to me. Bring him to me. That's a lot of picks, but I'm cool. I'm cool. I like this haul, though. The Dame Tucker, someone who probably shouldn't be on the board at this point. I like it. Edge, backer, safety. We're still defensive heavy, and we got a wide receiver. I like this one right here. I like this one a lot, actually. And we're still going defensive. The defense would be booming at this point. The defense would have no excuse to not be booming because that would mean we prioritized it in the draft and in free agency. Just the dude ran the 4.3. It is undersized, but you took Ted Hurst, who does have some size. Fuck it, we take another receiver. We take another. We go two. We double up, like Louis T said. Double up. Ugh. Double up with these boys, and in the draft, damn, I could have took that athletic nigga from Florida, but did we take a corner? Yeah, we took Sicario Davis. You know what? Double up with Ohio State safeties. Lorenzo Styles is like my favorite in the draft, end of the mock draft. Fuck it. He's athletic. Throw him on board type guys. Anthony Hill Jr. is a dog over Sonny Styles. I'm not sure I would say that, but if we were to have a second round pick, because that's why I think I think him and Jacob Rodriguez go early day 2 if they don't sneak into round 1. But I like this class a lot. This is probably my favorite stick at 7 draft that we did so far. I think you're putting a lot of pressure on a guy like Ted Hurst from Georgia State to come in and play dramatically better competition. But Caleb Downs, Jacob Rodriguez, who I don't think is going to be there, but would be a very fun pick. We doubled up with Ted Hurst and Xavion Thomas, Sicario Davis, the Dame Tucker, and Sonny Styles' little brother. Let's do one more of these, man. Let's do one more of these shits, man. Wide receiver. Wide receiver is the theme. We have to upgrade at wide receiver in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. They ain't let Tate fall to me yet. They don't want me picking Tate. Jeremiah, come get Jeremiah Love, man. Go do your thing, man. I got my second next year. Oh, they take him up for Reese. Okay. Niggas would be so mad if we passed on Jeremiah Love and took Makai Lemon. But I'm going to do it anyway. This is about wide receivers today. Who needs Jeremiah Love when you have Jeremy McNichols and Jerome Ford and Rashad White and the great Bill Krosky Merritt? Okay, so I went Makai Lemon. We go Malachi Lawrence because he's a dog. And now you have your edge that actually has a future here outside of Odafe Away. Damn, that center from Kentucky went off the board. I was about to say that's my pick. That's my pick with this next one. But Iowa kid, cool. Makai Lemon is gonna eat. I keep telling y'all, but don't worry about that weird ass personality. We could probably use some of that on this team. Don't fret. Don't trip. That dude is a dog. Bishop Fitzgerald, the other safety for USC, is also nice. Makai Lemon's going to be a demon right away. I think Makai Lemon has the best rookie year of the receivers. I don't know if his ceiling's the highest, but I think he has the best rookie year. I think he comes out the package on demon time, smoldering and all, swaying and shit at the podium at his opening press conference. I can see it right now. Let's see. You know what? I like this big body Baylor receiver too. Draft more than one receiver. I'm treating the draft as if Jalen Lane is a kick returner. I mean, a punt returner, maybe kick returner, and not counted into the wide receiver room. So if we decide to double dip at the wide receiver position, I'm not even tripping, man. Wide receiver is the biggest need on this football team. It's best player available there, but there is a world where they leave a player that all of us love on the board to take a wide receiver, and I'm trying to prepare everybody for that possible inevitable outcome, because as we sit here and wait on the Ayuk situation to play itself out and wait till seeing what's on the board at 7, we have one starting receiver on the roster and a bunch of guys that could start if they had to, but you don't want to have to rely on them being a starter. So that is all I got for right now. It is Mock Draft Monday. If we get any more news about this team coming out today, I'll pop out again as long as my power is still on. Y'all be safe. Lock yourself in a bunker if you need to. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Talk soon, everybody.